A Mortal's Journey to Immortality, Episode 124. Han Li only needs to do one thing to make Ji Yin and other old monsters return empty-handed. Back to the story. Han Li captured the 3 Jumi elders. When he heard the name Chong Mo, he wanted to know the details. He asked the 3 elders to arrange for the arriving disciples. There was no escape for them, so they arranged for the disciples and went to see Han Li. Han Li learned from them that because of the turmoil in Haiyuan, it was very dangerous. No one dared to go there to hunt monsters anymore. So the monks went to other sea areas to hunt monsters. Many cultivators appeared in the sea area, and the so-called Chong Mo, whether it was cultivation, magic weapons, or flying insects, was all the same as Han Li. Chong Mo's famous battle was 4 years ago. He alone defeated a group of cultivators and killed 7 or 8 cultivators at the 7th level of the core formation stage. A year later, in the sea area near Origin Island, there were frequent incidents of cultivators being killed and robbed. According to the survivors, it was that Chong Mo. He also drove countless flying insects to devour his opponents. Later, it happened almost every 1 or 2 months. It is said that the number of cultivators who died at the hands of this Chong Mo reached more than 100. This also made Chong Mo notorious. Rational cultivators found that Han Li's flying insects were tricolored. They were golden insects. And it was rumored that Chong Mo used 2-color flying insects, so they didn't think Han Li was Chong Mo. They all breathed a sigh of relief. After Han Li learned about these things, he warned the 3 of them not to reveal his whereabouts. Then he let them go. The reason Han Li let them go was because he was not a bloodthirsty person, and this place was very far away from his cave. He would leave immediately. Even if those 3 revealed his whereabouts, it didn't matter. If he met those 3 in the chaotic sea, he would definitely kill them. Han Li also knew that someone wanted to ruin his reputation and make him unable to stay in the outer star sea. He also wanted to lure him out. He even sent someone to pretend to be him and really kill people and steal their treasures. It killed 2 birds with 1 stone. He did use the Golden Beetle before to kill a group of Biyun Sect cultivators. It was also because the other party wanted to kill people and steal their treasures. Of course, Han Li would not be polite to them. He released more than 100,000 Golden Beetles to kill the enemy. What he didn't expect was that a cultivator at the late stage of the core formation stage activated an ancient castle and escaped while he was unprepared. Han Li also knew that the Biyun Sect was one of the major forces on Haiyuan Island. In order to escape, he had no choice but to venture into the deep sea. He had been hunting monsters in the deep sea for several years and had accumulated hundreds of 6th and 7th level monster cores. It was enough to refine pills. And he also collected many monster materials. So Han Li returned from the deep sea and wanted to go into seclusion for a period of time. On the way back, he happened to find the glazed beast. That's how it happened. Han Li thought again. The person who pretended to be him used 2-color flying insects. And when he killed the cultivators of the Biyun Sect, he used the tri-colored Golden Beetle. He knew this was the color of the Golden Beetle before it evolved. This should have happened before he came to the outer star sea. Could it be those old monsters from the Shutian Hall who followed him here? Han Li immediately flew towards his cave. As for Chong Mo, whether it was the Biyun Sect or Ji Yin who were behind it, he didn't have to bother with it. The abyss monsters were in turmoil. The situation in the outer star sea was getting weirder and weirder. Han Li planned to return to his cave and immediately go into seclusion. He would let those who wanted to trouble him slowly waste their time in the outer star sea. As long as his cultivation level increased, even if he was really that fierce Chong Mo, what could others do to him? At the same time, Ji Yin and Elder Xuanji of the Wanfa sect, as well as 2 or 3 other unidentified nascent soul cultivators. They came to Haiyuan Island to look for Han Li. Ji Yin used the excuse that Han Li killed Wu Chou to ask the Chi surname cultivator of the Biyun Sect to send disciples to find Han Li, and he himself was waiting for Han Li in Black Rock City. Ji Yin also listened to the suggestion of the Chi surname cultivator and sent a few disciples to pretend to be Han Li to kill people and steal their treasures. He deliberately left survivors to spread the evil name of Chong Mo. The other nascent soul old monsters thought this was a good idea and also sent their disciples to pretend to be Han Li to kill people and steal their treasures. This made the name of Chong Mo spread throughout the sea area of Chiwan Island. In order to make the Chi surname cultivator more dedicated to finding Han Li, he revealed to her that Han Li had obtained the Shutian cauldron. The Chi surname cultivator was very excited and immediately sent more people to look for Han Li. Of course, they couldn't find Han Li, because Han Li planned to cultivate in seclusion in the chaotic sea for decades. The location of the chaotic sea was hidden, and there were many restrictions. It was like looking for a needle in a haystack for other cultivators to find Han Li. The chances of finding Han Li were very small. Half a month later, Han Li returned to the chaotic sea. He was relieved to find that everything was normal in his cave. He breathed a sigh of relief. Then he began to sort out the harvest of this trip to the sea. He sorted and stored all kinds of rare materials and monster cores. Then Han Li rested for more than 10 days to allow his energy and spirit to reach their peak. Only then did he take all the materials into the alchemy room. Han Li spent 3 years refining all the monster cores into pills. His alchemy skills had also improved to a level higher than that of an alchemy master. He was one step closer to becoming an alchemy grandmaster. After alchemy was over, Han Li rested for another month. During this time, Han Li also checked the tricolored golden beetles and the golden beetles. To his surprise, the mother-nurturing grass was no longer effective on the tricolored golden beetles. Han Li was also unable to make the tricolored golden beetles reproduce and advance quickly. These beetles were running out. He could only focus on cultivating those that had not yet evolved, the golden beetles. Now these golden beetles were about to start their next round of devouring and reproduction. After dealing with these trivial matters, Han Li began to cultivate in seclusion and refine pills. 15 or 16 years later, Han Li finally broke through to the middle stage of the core formation stage. He cultivated to the 8th level of the Qingyuan sword art. He still had a lot of pills, so he continued to cultivate the 9th level of the Qingyuan sword art. Spring went and winter came. Autumn passed and summer arrived. Year after year, everything in the cave began to be covered with a thick layer of dust. It was as if this place had gradually become an ancient tomb. Many years later, a group of Qingling sect cultivators were being chased by a group of eagle abyss beasts. Only the leader was a foundation establishment cultivator. The other 4 were all Qi refining cultivators. They accidentally discovered the Sea of Fog while escaping. In order to avoid the monsters, they flew into the Sea of Fog. Only then did they see an island in the Sea of Fog. They flew to the spirit vein on the island to rest and recover their magic power. When their magic power had almost recovered, they were ready to leave. To their surprise, the eagle abyss beasts actually chased after them. These strange birds were about 10 feet long. They had red crests on their heads, sharp beaks, and claws. Their bodies emitted a faint blue light. They looked very ferocious and ugly. As soon as they appeared, they immediately dispersed and blocked the cultivator's escape route. The leading cultivator took the other 4 and hid in the forest. Just as they flew 3 feet into the forest, a green glow suddenly flashed. After a moment of dizziness, they realized that the original forest was gone. In front of them was another unfamiliar mountain range. A surge of rich spiritual energy hit them. Only then did they realize that there was an illusion formation here. The eagle abyss beasts were not affected by the illusion. They all rushed into the illusion formation. They found that this mountain range was not restricted. Perhaps there really was a cultivator cultivating here in seclusion. So they flew towards the restriction, hoping to seek the protection of the cultivator here. In the next episode, Miss Gongsun is willing to be Han Li's slave for life in order to save her father. Don't forget to click the follow button below. Let's see what happens next.